Hi, it's time for an update video. About 3 years ago, I published my first video where I reviewed a fairly common Bluetooth receiver that you can buy either on Amazon or directly from a manufacturer that you can plug into the external audio jack that you add to your NuTone Intercom Master Station, and then you can pair it up with your phone or tablet or some other Bluetooth device and send music to your intercom wirelessly over Bluetooth. First one was about 3 years ago, and then I did an update about 18 months ago, and recently I had a couple customers ask me if I could do another update video because this kind of technology changes fairly often, and you sort of have to stay on top of it, otherwise you fall behind the curve. And so this is going to be a 2-section video. The second section will be about using something like that, and that part of the video was inspired by a customer I talked to on the phone this morning. So what we have is the Anker, that's the brand, A-N-K-E-R. They're a manufacturer of products for wireless devices and cell phones and chargers and batteries and things like that. I like Anker products. They're fairly priced. My mobile phone has a replaceable battery, and when I need to replace the battery, I always buy it from Anker because their batteries are reasonably priced and they seem to last a long time. So what we have here is the Anker SoundSync model A3352 Bluetooth receiver, and this is a fairly new model that came out probably within the last 4 or 5 months, maybe a little bit longer than that, I'm not exactly sure. And this is the most modern and updated Bluetooth receiver that I can find to buy online. This one I bought from Amazon. You can also buy it from Anker directly off their website. Either place, it's about 20 bucks. So that's pretty good. And if you have Amazon Prime, you get free 2-day shipping, and that never hurts either. So what do we have here? Well, it says on the box, SoundSync A3352 Bluetooth receiver, has a 12-hour playtime. It also is designed to work as a hands-free device for your mobile phone if you use it that way, although that's not really our application. And this is designed with Bluetooth 5.0. And Bluetooth 5.0 is commonly referred to as Bluetooth LE, which is Bluetooth Low Energy, which is why the battery lasts so long. And there's some other advantages to Bluetooth 5.0 also. Bluetooth 5.0 does a much better job at managing the connection between your mobile phone or another Bluetooth transmitter and the receiver. It has greater distance. So the way it's sort of designed, the simplified explanation is the shorter the distance between the 2 points, the higher speed the transfer of digital information is, and then the further away you get, the distance, the range is longer, but the packets slow down. This is also designed with streaming music in mind more than other Bluetooth versions were. So this is supposed to be a big improvement, and I guess we'll see. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we get. So we'll go ahead and open it up. Let's see if it's one of those really nicely modern packaged electronic devices that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy when you open it up. The cardboard box is of course of very nice quality, and then of course inside it's all packaged very nicely because again you're supposed to feel warm and fuzzy when you open it up. So what do we have? Well, let's see. We have a little card that says happy with a question mark on it, and inside tell your friends, share, connect, some links, some phone numbers. Oh, I see. If you're happy, you look at this side, and if you're not happy, you look at that side, and it's help, customer service, phone numbers, things like that. So that's pretty clever. We seem to have a SoundSync A3352 user's manual, and surprisingly enough, it is quite thick and quite extensive. Of course, it's in probably 67 different languages, which is nice because that means they sell it worldwide. And the part that's in English, I assume, is in the front. Yes, it is. And the English part is 12 pages long. So it's kind of interesting. You don't usually get any kind of user's manual in something that you buy for 20 bucks nowadays. So they're trying really hard. Here we have another little booklet that says Anker with an exclamation mark on it. And inside here, important safety information, Bluetooth trademark, lots of different languages. So that's the mandatory disclaimer or safety kind of junk that you get with everything nowadays. And of course here we have our little Bluetooth receiver, and inside the flap on the box you get three things. So you get a standard male-to-male 3.5 millimeter or 1/8 inch audio connection jack, which is good. You get a standard USB to mini USB charging cable, so that's always nice. Everybody's got a drawer full of this kind of stuff, so I don't know if we really need another one. We have a male-to-male connector here, and I'll show you what that's for. And let's go ahead and open up our little Bluetooth receiver. So it's a nice size. Let's see if I can show you how big it is. So it's not huge. It's about a little more than an inch, probably by 2 inches, and it's about 5/8 of an inch thick. It's got a little curvy shape here on the top, which makes it actually seem kind of nice. It's got battery information and stuff on the back. And here we have the place for the audio connection. So in this socket here, you can either plug in one end of your 1/8 inch stereo cable like this, or you would most likely, if you use it for your intercom, you're going to use this, and this plugs into here. So it looks like this, and this is the end that's going to plug into the external audio jack that you added to your NuTone Intercom Master Station. There are only 3 buttons on it. There's one small button here on the top, and then there is a little hole next to the button on the top, and the little hole, I'm pretty sure, is the microphone. If you're using it as a hands-free device with your mobile phone, that's where the sound will go in. I'm pretty sure the large rectangular button here is the button that you use to pair it up to another device. And then on the side you have little plus and minus buttons, and that would be most likely for the volume. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty basic. These kind of devices are all very similar nowadays, but it's really about what's inside. Now, no, I'm not going to open it up and tear it apart, because I'm actually going to use it, and if we take it apart, it's not really designed to be open. It would probably ruin it, and then it's a waste. So I'm not going to do that. Let's go ahead and see if we can figure out how long it takes to charge it up, and those kind of things. Alright, so I was a little bit wrong. The rectangular button on the top is the power switch / multi-function button, so it's what turns it on and would be for pairing it to a device. The little hole on the side right next to the button here, it's not the microphone, it's the battery indicator, status indicator, probably an LED. And the little hole on the side below the minus button, that's where the microphone is, and the plus and minus buttons are volume up and volume down. It's got information about using your SoundSync, how to turn it on, how to pair it up, what the flashing LED light next to the on-off button means, which is all good. And let's see if we can see quickly how long it takes to actually charge it up. Just charge your SoundSync. You can plug it into a USB charger or a USB battery pack for charging. Fully charged, the light goes off. Charging time, 2 hours. Bluetooth version 5.0, approximate play time, 12 hours. So it's a 5 volt, 1.5 amp DC input for charging, and the battery capacity is 180 milliamp hours. So that's good. I think it's better than average, and 12 hours of playtime is quite a lot if you're just using it to stream music through. Go ahead and plug it in and see if it's charged up out of the box. I have it plugged into the USB port on my Parrot Bench computer, and I think you can see it's flashing blue and red, blue and red, blue and red, which means it's charging. It wasn't probably fully charged, but it had a partial charge in it. So out of the box, it's pretty much ready to go. Pretty much it. It's the Anker SoundSync A3352 Bluetooth receiver. You can buy it on Amazon or on the Anker website for like 20 bucks. Stick around for section 2, which will be followed right after the title for section 2. At the end of this section, you can watch me put it in use, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what my customer Stan in Pennsylvania asked me this morning about something like this. So see you on section 2. section 2 of the Anker SoundSync A3352 review video, and section 2 was inspired by a phone call I had from a customer this morning. So a fellow named Stan called. Stan's from Pennsylvania. The conversation initially started off about he wanted to know if there was an intercom system that he could replace his NuTone 2540 system, which is from the early 70s, some new system that had Bluetooth built into it. And when I asked him why he wanted to do that, it was pretty much so that he could listen to his Sirius XM radio on the intercom throughout the house, which is an outstanding idea. And what I explained to him was that NuTone doesn't have any systems that have Bluetooth built into them, and that Music and Sound, which is the offshoot of NuTone systems, they don't either. And he said he did find a single brand, sort of a small brand, that did have Bluetooth built into the Master Station. However, when he called Sirius XM and asked them about it, they said yes, it should work. And then he called a different department in Sirius XM, and they told him, oh no, that won't work at all because it's not designed for that. And he was a little confused about all of this, and he tracked me down through our YouTube videos, and we had a nice long discussion about how all of this would work. One of the things that I explained to Stan was that this other brand, if he chose to install something like that, he wouldn't be able to install just their master station in place of his 2540. He would have to replace all his remote speakers and all of that also, and that's an expensive and difficult thing to do sometimes, and that's not always what a lot of people want, especially if the goal is to just play Sirius XM throughout his house on his existing system. So I explained to him that there was a way that he could do this, and it would be far less expensive than replacing the entire system. And that's what this section 2 is about. Let's pick up where I left off on the other section of this video. So we have our little Anker A3352 Bluetooth receiver here. It's charged up, and in between shots here, I did pair it up with my phone. So I just have a standard Samsung mobile phone here. The pairing was easy. It's like most Bluetooth devices. I pressed and held down the button on the top. The phone saw that it was an available thing. I clicked on it on the phone and it paired it up, and now it's a paired device. One of the nice things I liked about it was when I paired it up and it came up in the list of Bluetooth devices that the phone can pair with, it showed in there that the battery in the Anker was 100% charged. So that's kind of a nice feature if you want to keep track of how much charge there is left in the battery in the Anker. Our test setup here, this is a NuTone IM3303, and it has the external audio jack on the side here, just like I have shown in another video how to install. And please don't worry, at the end of this video, down in the description, there will be links to all sorts of other videos that you may want to watch if this is something that you're interested in. So all we're going to do is we're going to plug our Anker Bluetooth receiver into the audio jack here, and it's connected on the CD tape input, so that's active now. Any device that's paired with the Bluetooth receiver, when you activate it, turn it on, play music, it'll play through the intercom system. So let's not lose sight of what Stan's goal here is. Stan's goal is to listen to Sirius XM radio on his NuTone Intercom system. Let's first talk about why Stan was told first that it would work, and then he was told that it wouldn't work, and what the ins and outs of this are. Sirius XM radio is satellite radio. So circling the Earth in orbit are satellite transmitters, and they beam digital radio signals with all the music down to Earth, and you have to have a satellite radio receiver to receive those signals, decode the signals, and turn them back into music, do the tuning, change stations, all of those kind of things. That's all in the signals that come from space from the satellite. The little Bluetooth receiver, this one or any other one, it can't do that all on its own because it's not a satellite radio receiver or tuner. It's just a Bluetooth receiver. You can pair up 100 devices with this and play 100 different things on different devices that have Bluetooth, but it's not able to decode or receive the signals from the satellites in space. You need some piece of equipment in between the intercom the Bluetooth receiver and the satellite to actually make that happen. In a normal setup, let's say that maybe Stan has Sirius XM in his car, because a lot of cars come with it standard nowadays. The car radio tuner satellite receiver is all built into the car, and that's the piece between the satellite and the speakers where the sound comes out in the car. So in this case, we need a device that's in between. And if you can do it in a way that you don't have to spend any money on, that's even better. So I asked Stan, I said, Stan, do you have a mobile phone? And he said, yes, I do. And I said, and do you have a modern mobile phone that has apps and things? And he said, yes, I do. And I said, great, because you can use your phone as the intermediary piece of equipment that links the signals from space, from the satellites, through the Bluetooth receiver to play through your intercom. And he said, what? He wasn't sure exactly how that works. So let me show you. If you have a Sirius XM Satellite Radio account, which means it works on some other satellite radio device that you already own, you can download the Sirius XM mobile app. And on my phone, if we go to apps, and we come up with a list of apps and we scroll around, and it's right here, is the Sirius XM app. And if you have an account with them, the Sirius XM app is free to use. You don't have to pay anything. You can put it on any mobile device that you own. You key it up with your account. You have to have an account to download it and make it work, but you get it for free. So you have access to your Sirius XM music wherever you have some type of device like your mobile phone. So once you've downloaded the app and you've set it up, you can activate it, and it comes up. And you can choose, we'll go back, you can choose all sorts of different types of music that you like. You can make favorites lists, and it knows which ones you listened to before. So your mobile phone is acting as the intermediate device between the signals from space and the NuTone Intercom. Now, your phone isn't receiving the signals from the satellite in space. What your phone is doing is it's accessing Sirius XM through the internet, through your Wi-Fi or cell phone connection that your mobile phone uses to do almost everything that you have it do. So it's not actually directly connected to space, and no, I don't think aliens will take over your phone or anything like that, but you never know, could happen. Anyway, so we're in the Sirius XM app, and you know I can't play the music very long, copyright and all that sort of stuff, but if we click on 70s on 7, it plays through the NuTone Intercom. Now, one of the advantage of doing it this way is that Stan doesn't have to buy a satellite receiver. He doesn't even have to buy a new intercom system. All he's got to do is add an audio jack to his 2540, which is easy to do, and we have a video that shows how to do that. And he has to buy a little Bluetooth receiver like the Anker or some other kind. If he prefers something else, that's fine too. So he can plug the Bluetooth receiver into the audio jack that's plugged into the auxiliary input jack on the back of his 2540. Then he can download the Sirius XM app on his mobile phone, set that all up, and he's got a wireless connection. He can listen to his Sirius XM Satellite Radio on his intercom, and he can do all of that for probably, I don't know, $60, which is pretty good. And that's probably better than spending $3,000 to upgrade his whole system. And then you still have to use a phone anyway to make it all work, because that's what you need. You need the intermediate device to make it all work, and that's your mobile phone. One of the reasons that I chose the Anker SoundSync A3352 with Bluetooth 5.0 is that Bluetooth 5.0 is supposed to have superior range and manage the signal between your mobile device, your phone, and the receiver down here, and not have any drop-offs and things like that. So let's go ahead and see if that's kind of true. If we go back, we need something to listen to that isn't necessarily music, because you know we'll get a copyright strike and all that kind of stuff. See, here's all the channels that you get with the app. You know, you can scroll through. They have I don't know, there's probably 100 or more channels altogether that you can listen to. There's music, and there's talk radio, and there's sports, and there's Dr. Laura still on here, I think, and all those kind of things. Oh, and there's Howard Stern, so if you want to get your blood pressure up in the morning, you can always listen to Howard Stern. But let's see if we can find something here that we can play that won't get us in trouble with YouTube. And I'm pretty sure there's kids music, there's ESPN, there's Disney Radio, there's Fox Sports. I think we can do Fox Sports or ESPN. Let's do ESPN Radio.
Big Ten Network. And Dave, how do you watch the game on Monday night? Do you see
we can play talk radio because there's no copyright on talk radio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mobile phone and I'm going to walk across the shop, and I'm going to walk across as far as I can to see if it loses the signal.
Lower scoring than we anticipate? Is it all the athletes? How are you watching Monday?
Walking away from the radio now.
I think I'm just kind of watching it to appreciate what are clearly the two best teams in the game.
All the way on the other side of the shop, about 40 feet away from the 3303.
And it's come to pass, and I don't even know in a bad way. I mean, I think that sometimes comes off as...
Now we're going to go the other way.
But just that, hey, if everything held, these were the two best teams. And
now we're going to go outside.
As a fan who appreciates college football, do I have a kind of specific take on it in that way that you're describing? I mean, I not really. I guess I'm interested in the quarterback battle. I think it's really fascinating.
Oh, look. No phone, nothing in my hands, nothing to see. Where's my phone? It's sitting out on the wall outside the door of the shop. It's about 50 feet away from where I am at the 3303.
The Big Ten Network, and certainly I'd love to see a Big Ten team in there, but these are the two most deserving teams. I think it was clear all year these were the two best teams, and so as a college football fan, I want to see the two best teams in college football go head-to-head and see who wins.
Okay, so I'm back, and here's my phone. That's enough of that.
Total shocking news to me, Dave, that...
All right, this is just a demonstration. The Bluetooth 5.0 seems to have, just with that little test, much better range and connection than the earlier ones. I remember when I did the very first Bluetooth receiver review, I noticed that in a lot of cases, if you were 8 feet away, it would lose the signal, or if you were standing between your phone and the receiver, sometimes it would lose the signal. So the Bluetooth 5.0 seems to work much better than that. It's a much more solid connection. I hope this makes it clear, and I hope it helps Stan and other people who are trying to do what Stan is trying to do with his system. So again, all you need to do is you have your existing NuTone Music Intercom system. You add our external audio jack to it on the set and plug it into the auxiliary input on the back of the intercom. You get a Bluetooth receiver of your choice. For this video, I recommend the Anker SoundSync A3352. And just for those of you who would think that, no, I don't get anything for doing this. I bought this with my own money. I don't get paid. I don't do paid reviews. I'm just trying to pass along information for people who are unsure on what to buy. And this seemed like a reasonable choice. And I think so far it works pretty well. I will be using this in my service van, and that way get some road miles on it, and we'll see how it holds up over time. But so you need the auxiliary input jack. You need the Bluetooth receiver. If you want to do the Sirius XM radio thing, you need to download the app onto your mobile phone, and then you can do it that way. If you just want to play music that you have downloaded on your phone, you know, your regular play music list, that will work also. It doesn't have to be Sirius XM. All of those things are possible once you have the Bluetooth connection. I hope that many of you will find this interesting and perhaps helpful, and perhaps encourage you to do something like this and make your intercom system more usable than it is right now. As I've said in other videos, one of the constant threads throughout what I've done over the last 30 plus years is they want to play their own music through their intercom systems. And the modern way to do that is Bluetooth and your mobile phone. So if you found this interesting and helpful, please give it a big thumbs up on YouTube. That always helps. There'll be a banner right here that shows you how to subscribe. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell or on the wheel, put in your email address, and every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.